You sound like
Hello.
Shrek.
Welcome to this week's episode of The Familiars. My name is Joby Earl, and I am the DM for this lovely, lovely group of people. We're so happy that you're here with us. We have a huge session ahead of us. We have made it to Grudd Haug, and the party feels like it's a good idea to take on Goo herself. Before we jump into it, I think that we should introduce my fellow players. First and foremost, we have Alex Henriksen playing Rooster, our Dragonborn barbarian. We have Austin Durant playing Thibodeau, our human bard. We have Ben Horner playing Captain Chowder, our Warforged sorcerer. We've got Annalise playing Worthy, our tiefling cleric. We've got John Doherty. He's playing non-player characters, helping me out a ton. Last but not least, we've got Zach Appleman playing Justan, our half-elf ranger. Ladies, germs, and roosters, we are the Familiars. And we have just such a great episode here for you. And I don't even know what's going to happen. Maybe you do. But if you do, don't tell me. Before we get started...
Yes!
I'm actually nervous. I'm like actually
Death is
nervous.
in the air. The edge of death.
It feels that way to me. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
For whom does it call?
For
probably Rooster.
One of the six of you, or maybe more.
No.
I think that we should bring the world up to speed, though, on where we are. What do you guys think?
Can you mention that everyone is like a long-distance spellcaster, and I'm the only bozo that's...
I'll be sure to work it in. I'll see if I've got enough time. Yeah.
I think we've gathered that.
Yeah.
I just did.
So, last time on The Familiars. The Familiars are in the Desserin Valley on the way to attempt to defeat none other than one of the 6 giant lords, Goo, Lord of the Hill Giants. During a night's watch, Captain Chowder spied a group of hobgoblins leading hill giants and ogres on a raiding mission. He heard them arguing over whether they should eat their spoils or bring them back to Goo as ordered. And one hobgoblin aggressively reminded them that once Goo ascended to the top of the ordning, they were promised all the food and drink they could ever want. And luckily, Cap avoided detection, and the goblinoid raiding party made their way north. As the Familiars closed in on Grudd Haug, they passed by farmlands ravaged by the giant host that had made its way north away from Golden Fields. And one such farm was home to Grayson and his children Bertram and Pippa. Justan knew them and spoke with them about recent events, and Grayson said that a rider from the Lord's Alliance had ridden north bearing the red flag of warding. So they knew to take shelter in their basement. And Grayson pulled Justan aside and mentioned that he had also been visited by a Zentarim rider asking about the party. Oh. And they spent the latter half of the day trying to keep ahead of the rain, but a light drizzle had caught up with them as they crested a hill and saw Grudd Haug before them. Familiars.
Oh, boy. Oh, brother.
Here you are on our blood-stained map already.
Wow.
Mighty DM, I don't want to in any way add anything to the recap because that's not my job. But
of course,
I think we should catch America up on the poison ale plot, which is crucial to our assault.
Definitely,
because it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been months.
Okay. All right. So
It's been months.
Days in game time.
Here you are in front of Grudd Haug, the 6 of you. It is, I would say, probably approaching evening, but hard to tell exactly what time it is as the cloud cover has fully rolled in, and this light drizzle has started to form gently into a steady rain. And you are looking out over Grudd Haug, and just to remind everyone that this is the den of goo. And it resembles basically a beaver dam if multiplied by 100 times. And the lower level of the den basically is lodged between these two rocky outcroppings, and they're made of piled timber and packed with clay and mud, and you can see that there are hollow cavities in various places that resemble caves. Above this mound of timber and mud is a mud steading. This is a house, but made to giant scale. So that door that you're looking at with the boulder next to it is probably 20 feet high. And it has this massive log roof. And east of the steading is a yard that's enclosed by 20-foot-high palisade walls that are made of logs lashed together with thick twine. Can I have everybody roll a perception check, please?
Ooh, yes. With pleasure.
We've got Captain Chowder with a 19. We've got Justin with a 12. We've got Thibodeau with a 10. Worthy with a 16. Rooster with a 9. All right, so as you guys look out over this, I'm sorry, make all of these with disadvantage because it's raining.
Oh. Clear day. Yes.
What'd you get?
Chowder with a 15.
Nice. I have an 8 still.
Rolled a 10 that time. How's
Thank
my
you.
sound?
Good.
Good.
Great.
Lovely clear
All right.
day.
Chowder, as you look out, you can see that off to the west here is this large, what looks to be a watchtower.
Yes.
And through the mist and the rain, you can see that there are these 4 goblinoids that are keeping watch over Grudd Haug. And
What is a goblinoid? Can you
a goblinoid
describe
is just a category of folk that includes
Your bugbears,
ogres,
your
bugbears,
Oh,
goblins,
Hobgoblins.
stuff like that, and hobgoblins.
Whoa,
And
alright, it's a big
comparing
big
the
difference.
two, you can see that there are these 4 goblinoids that don't look like the humanoids that are down in this enclosure where all of the sheep are. Standing around the fire here, you see 5 orcs, and on one of their shields, you see these 2 jagged. They look sort of like lightning bolts, but there's a design on the shield that you can just barely make out, but would maybe have to ask someone who knew something about it to discern
That makes
exactly
sense.
what it meant.
The symbol.
Well, I'd say go ahead and make
Makes anything for
a
me.
history check. Yeah, go ahead and make a history check.
It's 12.
A 12. You recognize it probably as a marking that demarcates the group that these orc belong to, but you yourself don't recognize the symbol. But perhaps you can ask Justin later. You see that there's a difference between the folk that are in this area with all of the livestock and the folk that are up in the tower. The folk that are up in the tower, they look to be dressed in heavier armor, and whereas the folk that are around the campsite look to be look to travel lighter, wearing furs around the tops of their coats and leather armor. So you also notice this smaller house to the south, and just on the other side of the house, which you can't necessarily see in this picture, you can just see peeking out that there is a little, almost like small cloth lean-to, just for probably a small person, humanoid, something. And with that roll, do you see anything else? No, you see the four. I'll say that you recognize hobgoblins when you see them up in the gong tower, and you see 5 orcs with this lightning bolty type design on one of the shields. There are in this palisade stockyard probably what you discern to be around 100 sheep that are separated into a few different enclosures.
Okay.
And other than that,
Good deal of sheep.
I think that's what you see at the moment. So, as we're looking at this, what I'd like to take just a moment to do is to go around and see where everybody's at. Just as you look at Grudd Haug, it's been quite the roller coaster getting here. And at the moment, I'd say you're probably about a half mile away, and feel that as you approach, you're, I'd say, sort of peeking up over this rocky outcropping and looking out onto Grudd Haug. In between you and this steading, there is not much cover, sort of small little rises and depressions in the land. There are various boulders and rocks sticking up, but you notice that most of the trees are cut down, probably used to help build this dam. From where you are, you feel fairly certain that these hobgoblins up in the watchtower would really have to work pretty darn hard to see you. But as you have gotten up to this vantage point, Thibodeau, so you stand before this spot, and what's going on for Tib as you look out onto this?
I'm trying to make out if there's any tracks or any signs that the poison ale has made it into Grudd Haug yet. And I want to ask our ranger if he can see anything.
So with my favored terrain, I can tell the numbers of the enemies that I'm tracking, as well as how long it's been since they passed through. And I guess I would have been following the tracks as we approached. Mm-hmm. So would I have the information at this point of whether or not the giant convoy with the wagons of ale and sheep have entered and how long ago?
Yes, I would say that you can see that there is the unmistakable tracks. They have made no effort to hide themselves, walking directly down the main path. And you can see down here at the base, this boulder has been moved aside, and the tracks lead right up the path and right into what you can only assume is Grudd Haug. So it seems that the eagle has landed.
And how long ago does it look like, based on like the mud and everything? How long ago does it seem like they passed through?
Not long, within an hour.
Okay. So I say, well, it looks like they've arrived. I don't think anything else they would have brought through would make tracks like that. Seems like we just missed them. They might have come through here about an hour ago.
Great. Chowder. So, as you look at this, it's been a long journey to get here, and the rain's beginning to come down hard. The package has been delivered. What's going on for Chowder right now?
I gotta say the Golden Gulp Gambit really captured my imagination, and I'm kind of waiting in anticipation of seeing if that pans out for us, helps us out at all.
All right. So, as you all watch, there's a tense silence that settles over the group after Juston lets everyone know that the package has been delivered. Moog, what's going on for you?
Yeah, I think Moog is looking very closely at the structure, trying to remember what her husband Hrugh looks like. I know he was very tall. Other than that, I can't really remember. He was very tall.
Moog is looking just what I imagine is all of you, your heads peeking up over this rock, looking at Grudd Haug. And then behind all of you, there are these two huge eyes with a huge head, kind of like all silhouetting the whole group, also looking up over everyone to see where Hrugh is, your lost husband. Gu, I'll remind the world, has stolen all of the hill giant husbands to help her ascend to the top of the ordning, since the ordning had been shattered. Worthy,
Greedy.
as you look, what's going on for you?
I mean, I've learned so much about, well, the Church of Kellenvor in the past few days, and I'm starting to realise that so much of what I've been taught was a lie. And I was always taught that I didn't need to fear death, and now I'm not so sure. And there's so much I haven't done that I always thought I couldn't do, but I'm not ready.
Great. Rooster,
Yes.
here we are, looking out over this mud steading. Moog is breathing heavily behind you. What's going on for Rooster today?
Rooster is thinking about a lullaby Rooster's mother used to sing that he likes to hum, adopted mother, but that Rooster hums in Rooster's head when Rooster's maybe a little nervous. And it goes like this. It goes, "Good boy, Rooster, you're a very good boy. Good boy, Rooster, be good and you'll get a toy."
Nice. You guys hear this sort of faint melody come from, it's a light, just a dainty hum
Right hand back.
coming.
You're right.
Oh no. I like war. I understood war. Bad guys, good guys, you come in, you kill. But sneaking, strategy is not Rooster's strength. So, I'm curious what's going to happen. And I hope I get to kill some people. Because I love to kill people so much.
It's at this point that your conversation is cut off and is broken by the horrible, ground-shaking cries of what can only be hill giant agony.
Yes!
The boulder
Justin says, "Get down, get down."
Oh yeah.
is shoved aside from the main door. And one hill giant comes stumbling out of Grudd Haug, clutching its belly. Yes! Immediately, it vomits onto the ground. It's followed by two more, pushing it out of the way, trying to just find some empty ground to just let its insides and it just begins to vomit. And the other one also, they're all just it's projectile. You can see that the orcs in the lower stockyard are looking up dumbfounded as to what's happening. Eventually all three fall to the ground. Silence. After a few moments, you can hear a gong sound. It seems to be coming from the watchtower, and you can see up in the watchtower that there is one of the hobgoblins with this huge, large mallet just hitting this gong as loud as they can. You look down and you can see that a hobgoblin comes out of this house down to the south of Grudd Haug and looks up and begins to run up the ladders and up behind Grudd Haug out of sight. You can see that there are two now goblins that see this hobgoblin run out and make their way inside the house. The 5 orcs here standing around the fire are joined by 5 more who were inside the tents, now all looking up at the seemingly unconscious hill giants above them, all on alert. Everyone make a perception check with disadvantage.
Or Thibodeau, you want to... Did you get that thing? Never mind.
Ooh.
21.
With disadvantage?
Dang it.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a nat 20 on the first one.
Oh,
Nice.
Justin, you, through the white noise hum of this rain, make out a deep, just stomach-curdling sound. This is different than any hill giant you've heard before. And this hill giant seems to be calling out in agony. You speak giant, right?
I do.
You hear a deep, guttural voice barking orders. And it seems to be orders calling for revenge. Amidst just these nauseating punctuations of what sounds like more vomit.
Take your men to golden fields and raze it to the ground. I'll teach them to send me poison ale and flocks of sheep. Go, destroy it.
At that, you see 5 orcs run out the front door in tight formation. They're followed by 2 ogres. They call out a few short quips to the orcs that they see down below in the stockyard as they make their way east along the cliffside, out of view.
That's not the direction the Golden Fields is in, right?
Correct.
I think they're going for reinforcements.
Well, shall we?
And then those orcs, is everyone heading in? Does it seem like the activity is going into Grudd Haug to figure out what they're going to do?
Good question. It seems that whatever the exchange was between the orcs who were running along the cliff face and the orcs down below, the orcs down below are staying put. You see 2 of them move down to the main gate and stand sentry. Seemingly, the rain is of no bother to them, as the others seem to be conversing now quite actively around the fire.
How many are around the fire?
You now see that, 2 are here. That would leave, there were 8 around the fire. You see, I'll say 3 of them head back into the tent, and 5 stay around the fire.
So that's 8 around the tents and fire, and then 2 around the gate. Mm-hmm. Correct?
Correct.
That's still a lot of fucking orcs.
Okay, Rooster has idea.
Do it.
Those orcs ran for reinforcement.
Yes.
Can anyone use magic? Sorry, I don't know specifics. To we look like we are the reinforcements, and we get in. You know what I mean? Okay. I didn't.
A disguise?
Yeah, like a disguise. Oh, good. Yes.
Well, we couldn't just show up instantaneously. Wouldn't that be rather odd?
Okay, good point. I'll stay with War. You tell me what to do. Rooster knows Rooster's strength.
I don't know. Are the reinforcement folks? I mean, they're already a half a mile ahead of us.
I don't think we'll catch up.
Worthy turns to
Take a
Moog
while.
and says in giant, Moog, are there enough blugs of goo that they'd all be known and recognized on sight?
Goo has many blugs, so it's, I don't know, maybe not, but Goo has very many blugs.
Worthy turns to the group and says, there's a chance that there might be so many they may not recognize us. And she turns to Thibodeau and says, what do you think? You think you could lie your way in there? Say we were coming from a scouting mission or something?
Well, I think that the jig is up. I mean, we can't go in as emissaries from Goldenfield anymore.
Seems pretty chaotic over there.
I can swim.
All right.
But
Good to know.
if they're sending out for reinforcements, and then they're gonna go down to Goldenfields again and launch another attack, I feel like we need to stop that.
Well, they're going for reinforcements and then going to Goldenfields. It's going to be a while. They're going in the other direction.
So where will they muster their forces?
I don't know.
Back here?
Likely.
All right, so Goo's not going to send anyone to Goldenfields until the reinforcements are back?
Right.
But we want to get in there before the reinforcements come back.
And kill Goo.
What did those orcs... Anyone
That's
get a
right,
good look
Rooster.
at those orcs' shields?
Yes, they had 2 lightning bolts on them. They look nice.
I might
Lightning
know what
bolts?
those are. I have a feeling I know what those are from
I think they were
being in the
ice
north.
shield orcs.
Oh, yes. I
What are
didn't.
those?
They had a sort of tenuous alliance with the Blue Bear barbarians back in the wars. They fought together against the High Elves in the High Forest, but they've got no loyalty to hill giants. So if they're working for Goo, it's likely because she's paying them. If we stop her, if we kill her, they're not going to keep fighting for her after she's dead.
Do you think they could be turned?
I don't know. Maybe if you pay them enough.
You think they like diamonds?
But if they come back here and they find that Goo is dead, they're not going to go shed their blood against Golden Fields.
Okay.
I think our best
Rooster.
chance to stop them is to stop her.
Yes, Rooster understands we need to kill Goo.
Cut the head off the snake.
Aye.
Right.
It's at this point that you hear
Oh, fuck.
a kerfuffle, which makes you all look down to the stockyards. Now, you can see 2 orcs here at the base, 5 around the fire. And now a hill giant has ducked their head underneath the opening and has come into full view. Its large, pasty rolls of flesh just encompass this massive figure, and even at a distance you can see that their bulging eyes betray a hint of morose sadness, and it looks to be that there is a swarm of flies that buzz around their face as they are trying to swat something. Moog stands straight up.
And Moog says, that's graag. That is graag. He's as gummy bear as I remember.
And you see this hill giant begin to move down. The orcs are calling to him and pointing to the boulder. And you can see that the hill giant is beginning to move down, and it looks to be put the boulder back in place. But before anyone can do anything, Moog is taking off full tilt across the open fields towards Crook.
Luke, no!
Oh,
Oh,
You
gosh.
see the orcs turn and see this just huge being. The ground is shaking beneath the weight of Moog. You can see Crook has moved towards the boulder and was about to begin to lift it into place, but looks up just as Moog reaches them. You can't necessarily hear exactly what's going on at the moment, but you see Moog grab Crook by the hair and swing him down onto the ground, slam him with her great club, knocking him unconscious. And drags Crook off to the east. You can see that Moog. Everyone, go ahead and make a perception check, real quick.
well,
Let me know if with
Star
disadvantage
giant.
anybody gets above a 15.
this is disadvantage.
Disadvantage because of the rain. Anybody gets above a 15, let me know.
No.
13.
Well, if you could have seen Moog, you would have seen Moog weeping with happiness as she dragged her husband away from the steading and off towards what you can only imagine is the high forest.
Well,
Well, if we've
The
done nothing
boulder-
else, we did one good today.
Good job,
Is
team.
still out of place. The boulder is it is still an open walk in to the front the front door.
Are the orcs still standing sentinel there, or did they chase after Moog?
They did not chase after Moog. They were just sort of trying to stay away from two hill giants fighting each other. And you can see now that they are all as dumbfounded as all of you. But then one begins to call out, and the others fall into what looks to be a fairly well-trained order to back at the front gate.
Get back to work. Mind your posts.
Is there a way we could break out the sheep, get them to scatter, chase after them?
Let's see. How far are we? We're quite far. We're very far.
Quite far. You're about half a mile, yeah.
Okay. Not from here. We could spook them, shaking the ground a little bit. With my prestidigitation. But
Prestidigitation.
Yes, but I need to be much closer than this. Oof.
I'm very good at animal handling, but I need to be closer.
Is there a way we can sneak around the east side, like go around in a way that wouldn't be directly in the vision of the two orcs that are standing at the front of that gate?
And maybe get to that small opening on the east?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say yes, but it's going to be tough. I would say you'd probably have to wait about an hour for what feels like more darkness to fall. And if you did, you feel that as long as everybody was on alert and moving stealthily, there would be a chance that you could make it without being spotted. There's enough rises and falls. Whoop.
And then
Thank you so much for sticking with us through that minor technical difficulty that lasted only, what was it, guys? 3 or 4 seconds?
Moments.
Mere moments?
Moments.
Part of a second.
What
Yeah.
technical difficulty?
Exactly. I just wanted to play the graphic. So,
That's not a nice
Here-
thing to say about Austin.
here we are deciding exactly how we're going to approach and what it is that our ultimate goal may be.
Assassinate Goo.
Yeah, take down Goo. Justin, don't you have a spell that basically makes us all ghosts?
I can do pass without a trace. Give you a +10 to your stealth checks.
What's that mean?
Now what is that?
It means the ground will make very little sound as you walk across it, and the clouds will sort of follow us, so very little light passes on us as we walk.
I say we do it.
Like the sound of that.
Where do we want to go in?
Friggin'
What about that small
that little side door? Yeah, that cheeky little
to the east.
side piece.
The one to the east, yeah? That
One
little...
to the east.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
That's intriguing.
Should we do that?
Seems
one of
like
those
we got
smash people.
a little bit of cover up to that anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, some stumps, some knolls.
Do we wait until dark or do we go now?
I think we go now. I don't... The giants who've passed out from the poison out front, they could wake up any time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Ghost me.
Tiny door to the east. We agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Alright, so Jeston is going to cast... he's going to cast Healing Spirit on the group. No, not Healing Spirit. Sorry, I'm drunk.
No.
Pass without a trace on the group. DM, would you like me to read that or no?
Yeah. So, what's it look like when you cast it?
So you see Jeston kneel down, and he does a little drawing in the mud, and all of a sudden, the really muddy ground from all this rain dries just enough so that it's not making that sort of squishy, squelchy sound as you step across it, and all of the twigs and sort of sticks and leaves in the ground just sort of disappear under the earth as we walk across it, and the rain clouds get really dark above us, so it really just obscures us from light as we set across the grasslands.
All right. Great. So all of you, for the next hour, get a plus 10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks.
Very cool.
Let me get a marching order, please.
I'll take up the rear.
I guess I'm in the front, probably.
I'll be able to just on.
I'll be behind Worthy.
I'll be right there in the middle there.
Just on. Rooster.
And we'll sort of walk around in the way that keeps us as much out of the sight of those orcs in the front as possible.
Great. So, let's do this, guys.
Squelchy.
And as we're walking along, Thibodeau is humming this little song to the group. It goes, "Let the doors be all bolted, let the windows be pinned, and leave not an opening for a rat to creep in." And everyone gets what is it, 8 points, 8 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, you guys make your way. You start down, and Justin is leading the way through the approach to Grudd Haug, and you can see that what he was following and tracking, it's impressive that he can know the number and the amount of time that's passed, but the tracks itself are very easy to discern. There is just this muddy trench of huge, disconcertingly huge footprints. And as you make your way down, you are trying to find the best places of cover, which at first aren't too hard. There's a sort of rocky outcropping here and a boulder there. But there are a few moments where you see that there is going to just have to be some grace coming your way as you have to time the move through open ground. And you can see Justin just adopt this kind of quiet, laser-focused concentration as he watches just the movement of the heads of these two orcs on watch. And let's make the first stealth check here in order of appearance. So, Justin,
Can I take an opportunity to create a little minor illusion about 30 feet away from us?
To distract them?
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
This little baby deer just creeps out from behind one of the stumps and just stands there and stares at the orcs.
Okay, great. So, minor illusion. Let's see, I just want to make sure that I can see how it affects their...
How far away are the orcs currently?
I'm going to say that they are probably 200 feet away. Not a short distance, but you wish it was further.
And while he's doing that, I'll just remind you all that with Pass Without a Trace, it's not just the +10 bonus. We also can't be tracked except by magical means, and we leave behind no tracks or traces of our passage.
Leave no trace.
Awesome.
So,
Pack it in, pack it out.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Leave it better than you found it.
That's right.
Ditch in
Only
time
you
saves
can
9.
Prevent forest fires.
Thibodeau, out of thin air, creates the image of a small deer that walks the opposite direction. Justin sees this and uses that as his time to advance. Justin, go ahead and make a stealth check. I'll say with advantage.
with advantage. Aye, thank you.
Okay, first of 10.
First one would be 18 plus 10. That's going to be fine.
28.
And then just for fun, one more.
You really don't have to. Oh, okay.
Great.
Even the bad ones are 20.
Right.
He rolled a 3, and it becomes a 20.
Because I'm a bloody ranger.
Rangers.
that
fantastic.
Ranger danger.
Ranger danger.
So they are actively on sentry. So they will be making their own perception checks with disadvantage due to the fact
There's a baby deer.
that it's
Look at
raining.
you.
Yeah, great. Nice.
As Justin goes, you guys find it hard to see him as you look back to the orcs and see that one of the orcs notices the deer and nudges the other one to point it out. They both are looking that way. Who's going next?
I am.
Just on, wait up.
Worthy? Go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, okay. 18,
Plus 10.
28. Go ahead and make another one.
28.
Okay, great. Who's up
20.
next?
Gonna-
Chowder.
Chowder.
Yes. All right, here we go.
A 9 goes to a
And a
19.
12.
Goes to a 22. Rooster.
Play low to the ground, Rooster.
Just like, look at
Don't
deer.
play low to the ground. Don't play low to the ground.
Well done.
Rooster with an 18.
Yay.
28.
7.
Great. Thibodeau.
I miss Moog.
All right.
We're going to hear the sounds of her lovemaking.
All throughout Faerun.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
26.
26.
Sex.
Thibodeau, as you make it across, you deftly command the deer to walk back behind some of the rocks that it had walked out from in front of, and all of you can see the deer disappear. All right. You continue your way across, and for the next 30 or so feet, you can all breathe a sigh of relief. But there comes the next spot where you're going to need to make another stealth check. So go ahead, Justin.
2 of 10.
This one
With
without-
advantage or not? Without advantage,
No
but still with
advantage.
the plus 10. All right.
Right.
28.
Okay. Up next is Worthy.
Well done.
21. Chowder.
Bam. 31.
31.
I ascend. Goodbye.
Chowder. You have a hard time seeing yourself.
Oh no! I went too far. I flew too close to the sun.
You start wondering if you are here.
Oh.
I had Rooster going first, but Rooster, I think you were taking up the rear.
last.
Thibodeau, maybe that
Yeah.
last time you were just worried about the minor illusion. So Thibodeau, you go ahead this time.
25.
25. Nice. Rooster.
Let's see what the other one was going to be.
15.
15.
Wait, with
15.
advantage? No?
Oh, no, not with advantage?
15.
Oh.
Let's just see.
Oh,
I'm going
I'm
to
gonna
keep
bend that-
their... Let's just see.
I'm going to bend Rooster's luck.
Okay.
I'm going to bend that luck.
Bend it.
How do I do that?
Cheese.
Let's see.
Yes, okay. I'm going to bend the luck. That's a 1d4,
Look at Alex.
and that adds to the score. Okay.
What did Rooster do wrong?
Let's roll the dice.
Rooster made too much noise.
Add 3. Go ahead and add 3 to Rooster's roll.
It's in.
So I'm going to say that Rooster is making their way across this open expanse, and Chowder, you are coming back to yourself looking, and you just happen to notice at the last moment that the orc is looking almost directly at Rooster as Rooster stumbles just before Rooster crosses the threshold to where you guys are. You put a hand on Rooster. Rooster, you just feel this feeling of dexterousness flood your body as you spin at the last moment behind the rock, just missing the look of the orcs. Okay.
I am so good at sneaking.
Yes, okay, very good. Oh, God.
And as you guys are making your way almost to this entrance that is on the far side, just on, you see that there's this one last gap that you're gonna have to make it across. But once you get there, you will be safely out of the eye line of these two sentry. So last one, guys.
All right.
Just on, up first.
Let's keep it tight.
20.
A 3 goes to a 20. Chowder, was that...
A bloody magician.
No.
Worthy.
I'm looking at the wrong
Worthy.
one. Thank you. Worthy. I was looking at your 3
20.
from before.
20.
20. Chowder.
Yes. I'm going to Tides of Chaos that.
Okay.
So I'll take that again.
6 is going to
So a 9 to a 19.
a 19. How about pass without a trace, huh, guys? Thibodeau.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Ooh.
What is it?
16.
A 16.
16.
And there's no critical fails on ability checks.
16. Do I want to bend that? It costs a lot of sorcery points.
Are there going to be new
Are there new rolls?
for finding us, or is it still that other one?
I'm going to do one more roll for them as they're actively looking.
I'm going to keep it because I can also bend theirs down if need be.
Okay.
Rooster.
16's not bad. Rooster, make us proud. I know you will. You will. Rooster.
Malar, please don't let me fuck this up for my friends. Good boy, Rooster. You're a very good boy.
15.
15.
15. Okay.
Kept a plant alive, never had a pet.
12 for the orc.
Okay.
You all make it across. Undetected.
Good boy, Rooster. You're a very good boy.
So we made it across with a 1 rolled.
Yeah.
This is
Just want to point that out.
I should have charged more than an oath bow.
You all have made it across. And I'll say that you have made it now safely completely out of line of the sentry and amongst these trees that are in front of this cave. This cave, as you approach it, you can see that it is, it's quite large. It looks to be probably, the cliff face itself is 50 or 60 feet above you, and the apex of the arch of this cave looks to be about 30 feet high.
I'm gonna make a perception check to make sure there's no like traps at or like alarms at the front of the cave.
Check
Go
the
ahead.
traps. I'll do that too.
15 for me.
Okay, 15. To the best of your ability, it does not look to be trapped. Chowder assisting. Yes, both of you, to the best of what you can see, please both make those actually with disadvantage.
Okay.
Ooh.
Fuck. 6.
11. Yeah. 11.
Yeah, it doesn't look to be trapped.
Hill giants don't do a lot of traps.
Says just on off.
I also thought they didn't build houses, so, you know.
Yeah. What you do see, or hear rather, are huge wings. All of you look up and see. You all can decide whether this is something that you've seen before or not. But there is what looks to be this lion with these bat wings. And it's probably flying, I mean, fairly close, but 100 feet over your head. You didn't hear it earlier because of probably the storm, but you can see that it carries a rider. And this wyvern lands right on top of the cliff face above you. And I'll say that you can all, from this vantage point, see that the orcs are going up to greet this rider. This rider is a tall goblinoid with deep, just blood red skin, black hair that's cut tightly to the sides of their head, and they're wearing full plate armor. They have a huge long sword that is attached to their belt, and as they step off of the wyvern, you can see that they're carrying a large stone tablet. I'm going to keep Chowder and Justin's perception checks. Everybody else go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage, please.
Dang it.
And just let me know if you get above a 12.
13.
13 from Rooster.
I can perceive sometimes.
Oh,
All right. Rooster, you can just barely make out that they're talking. Can you tell me what languages you speak?
So many. Deep speech.
Of course, you
That's
speak deep speech.
Deep speech.
I didn't know when I was choosing things because I never played before.
You speak deep speech, draconic, and common.
I speak dragon? Oh, yeah. I'm a dragon.
Yeah.
Do orcs speak goblin or orc? Ish.
orc.
Great question. I believe
I
they
think
speak
orc's own language.
Orcish. Yes.
DM, I'm assuming
but
next scene flew over the distance and
Of
met
course.
back up with us.
Of course. Exactly. She's right there with you. Oh, hey, hello. How are you?
Maxime, I thought I lost you.
Yes, well flown.
No, I just thought. Did you guys see? I was flying, and there was this other thing flying over us. But look, it's right there. It just landed.
Could
Yes,
Worthy use
I'm-
thaumaturgy and like
perceiving
imitate
it.
Goo's voice and send all those orcs away?
Hold on, I'm perceiving.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I mean,
And
I'm perceiving.
because
Sorry, perceive, Rooster.
actually, they're speaking in common. Because goblinoids speak goblin and orcs speak orcish, but they both speak common. And so you see that this hobgoblin is referencing the stone that they're carrying. And the few orcs that have come up to investigate are very interested in it. And from your vantage point, you can't exactly see what is written on it, but you can hear a little bit of what the hobgoblin says. And the hobgoblin says,
I followed them to the Grey Peaks. Found this near a settlement called Oralbor. They're not far. I'm sure of it.
and then walks in to Grudd Haug.
I tell them that.
Have I ever read anything that would give me a hint as to what they're talking about?
So, let's see. I
Oh
think
shit, I know what I want to do. Okay, sorry.
everyone would know. Let's see, would you... So, Oralbor is a settlement on the eastern side of the High Forest. It is along the Delembir Road, just north of Loudwater. And it is in the shadow of the Grey Peak Mountains. So, whatever they were referencing, they found something close to Oralbar, I should say. And whatever they're looking for is not far. All right.
Okay,
So-
you guys. I have a question. This bat lion. What if I climb the side of this? I don't want to split up the party. I understand this, but I think with my animal handling and my experience riding a griffin, I could be a rooster on a bat lion killing stuff, and then they can't use it. Is this a crazy idea?
Well, if we're
I could
going
release
inside,
the ships and cause a distractions.
Handbag, if you get hurt, we won't be able to reach you.
Yes, but what if they find you because there's no distractions?
We get inside, Rooster. We need you to.
We need you on the ground.
How far away, how far above
Alright.
us are the orcs that are still up there?
Did they go inside too?
No, they went back down now to where they were before, amidst
Okay.
the stockyards holding the sheep.
Or
How many
what?
feet away from us are they?
Oh, I'd say probably now. I mean, they're on the other side of these 20-foot tall palisades. You can't see them anymore.
Gotcha. Cool.
Are
100
wyverns
feet away.
animals, or are they
Yes.
more like monsters?
Let me go talk
Mm,
to
in between. Why do you ask?
Well, like, would an animal handling check have disadvantage or anything on it?
I don't think so. No. As a DM, I'm calling it no.
Even if it's just to get it to fly away, to release it, to save it from this terrible life it's living.
Would you get it to attack the orcs?
I don't think I couldn't.
Probably with the potion.
Certainly with the potion, my animal handling is one of the things Rooster is very good at.
That might just be crazy enough to work.
You could try it.
+4 animal. Oh, thank you for believing in Rooster. It
Worthy
means
reaches
so
into
much.
the bag of holding and thinks about the potion of animal handling in it. She hands it to Rooster.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I like this.
I'd also like to say that because we took a short rest, I can go from swimming to climbing. because I think I actually chose swimming 2 days ago. So today I choose.
Are there any orcs up there with the wyvern right now?
Will you allow it, DM?
No.
Oh, great.
The wyvern.
No.
The wyvern is
You're
just
fun.
up at the cliff's edge, and you can see that it looks to be now lying down with its head facing towards the entrance of Grudd Haug, away from you.
Okay. Do you believe that I can climb? DM.
I do believe, I always believe in Rooster. I'm wondering when you took a short rest.
Okay. So, if you think about it,
Yeah. So
I guess
no,
we did.
you haven't. You guys can take a short rest here and wait an hour.
No.
And you can change what you chose. You can take the time to change the aspect of the beast that you chose, or you can make other decisions. That being said, Rooster, you are looking at the cliff face and
Yes.
seeing that it looks climbable. It looks like it would take some doing, and
I drink the animal
Wait,
handling. I'm going to climb.
Rooster heads up
the wyvern
these sides.
is laying down at the opening of Grudd Haug.
No,
it's on the
more
cliff
on
The cliff above us.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
trying to get
okay.
I'm trying to get a token to show exactly sort of where we're at.
Okay.
Because in all of my planning, I was not expecting this. So, Rooster, go ahead
Yes.
and make a
Strength, right?
strength,
Pulling up.
an athletics check. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay. 16.
Nice.
Okay, 16. You see Rooster deftly make their way up the cliff face. And Rooster, you are now up 60 feet above the party, standing on the cliff face. You can see in front of you the hugeness of Grudd Haug and the largeness of the entrance to Grudd Haug. It is 30 feet tall, probably 30 feet wide, a doorless entry. But as you look in, there looks to be a large red curtain that is just probably 10 or 15 feet inside the door. It is quite dark once you look past the entryway to that curtain, but there looks to be little bits of orange firelight peeking out of the sides of the entryway. You now have fairly good view also of the stockyard, and you make your way quickly behind. There's a large pine tree that's just next to the cliff face, and make it behind there.
Thank you, DM.
And you have fairly good view of the. Just trying to get this. There we are. Of the wyvern. There we are. Okay. It's huge. Okay. And we'll get Rooster out here, and then we'll be in business. Didn't expect to be using this today, but Dungeons and Dragons. There we are. Okay.
And Rooster.
And Rooster.
Oh, wow.
Boy.
What a task I have set up for myself. Why do I do this? Okay. Can I tell you what I want to do?
Please.
I bow my
Next scene
head
to remember.
and I stick out a finger for it to smell.
Can I also tell you a little bit about this potion of animal friendship?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh. What are you going to say?
Well,
Is this going to be something that's going to explain something to Rooster? Because Rooster is not in your hearing.
Oh. Yeah, it is.
No!
So, Rooster, you make your way towards
Just
the
talk
wyvern.
to your cleric before you go.
Oh boy.
Please consult your cleric
Rooster-
if you have any.
Can I ask what it is? So you're just going up to touch it right now?
No, I want it to smell my finger.
In order to...
To know that I am a good person.
I see. Like you would offer your hand to
Like a
a dog
dog.
to like have
Yeah,
it
a dog or a cat or whatever. It's an animal. This is what Rooster is mostly animal.
Annalise is
But-
Oh
fuming.
man.
But
I have
just-
got the session music right below my left finger.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
Maybe we should get a head start climbing. Let's
Go ahead and make
wait, I don't do it.
I'm gonna get
I don't do it. I back
An
up. I
animal-
back up.
Rooster. You are right now halfway between the tree and the
fudge.
wyvern. If you move back, you're going to have to make a stealth check to make sure that nobody sees you, or you can move forward and make an animal handling check.
I'm going to pray quickly and think about my cleric and think if through her eyes there's anything I would know in my heart. I just need a roll, right? In my heart.
I'm just getting the rules for potion of animal friendship.
Oh, no,
Oh, is this the
okay.
potion of animal handling or potion of animal friendship?
Animal friendship.
What? I thought we had animal handling.
No.
I'm sorry, I screamed.
It is. Oh, I
Was
thought
it? And did I could have put it into my inventory wrong.
I had animal
ahead.
handling.
I thought it had.
Go ahead.
Oh, if it was
What I have.
handling, then I could be wrong. I could have put it in wrong.
Let's check the tape.
Yeah, let's check that fucking tape.
There is no potion of animal handling.
Okay,
Oh,
so it's animal
snap.
friendship. Okay.
Go ahead and make Rooster. You're going to make 2 checks. One
If
first
it's
is going
charisma,
to
I'll
be
kill
an
myself. Okay,
Arcana.
great. I have +3 Arcana. 11.
Okay. You are reaching your hand out.
Finger.
And as you do, there's this weird sensation that begins to kind of feel warm in your stomach. And this makes you think, is there such a thing as potion of animal handling? I don't know if there is. As the wyvern turns to look at you. And in that moment, make an animal handling check.
Pull back a stump.
Oh no. What I now remember
Are we
is
close
this
enough to bend this if we need to?
I mean.
16.
Oh! 9 fucking teen!
In that moment, the wyvern turns to look at you, and you can sense that there is this just split second iota of time that takes place where you know, as someone who has dealt with many animals, that this is the moment where you will know if this beast will see you as friend or foe. And in this moment, you see the wyvern's ears come forward. And in that moment, it gives you 1 extra second to think, was it animal handling or animal friendship? And out of that comes this spell. And the spell that's cast is animal friendship. And the spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. If you must, it must see or hear you. And if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise,
No.
the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you.
Okay. God,
A wyvern's intelligence is a 5.
I have made a huge mistake.
Well, so but it's not charmed, but it still sees her as a friend because of animal handling, right? Like it's still like.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an episode of The Familiars we have had. I just want to thank all of you for coming. We are outside of Grudd Haug. The party is split between Rooster and a 60-foot cliff face, which requires a DC 10 athletics check to climb. The wyvern is not her friend, their friend, and the orcs are down below. I couldn't have predicted it if I had divination magic at my fingertips. We want to thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Please check us out on all of the socials. Head to our website. You can get so much cool stuff on our new merch store. And wherever you can like us, wherever you can follow us, wherever you can subscribe to us. Think about kicking us a few bucks on Patreon, but no matter what, tell a friend, because the more people that come together around this fun game, the more fun it is. No matter what, please tune in next week, and as always, our intent is all for your delight. See you then.
No, I'm not mad.
Oh my god.
I'm just thinking about like what we're gonna do.